we're going to review a software engineer resume. Software engineer intern resume. There is a big difference. The resume that will get you a full stack, a full 40 hours a week software job is not necessarily the one that's going to get you the intern job. So this person is a first-year comp science trying to get an internship. They want to know how they can improve their resume. They do not know their ratio. So they also said much appreciated for the content. So thank you. I appreciate that as well. Let's see. So what we're going to be looking for as an intern specifically is in particular for a bachelor's intern. Master's interns are slightly different, which is sort of my answer to almost everything in recruitment is it depends. But what we're going to be looking for is a basic knowledge of the tech stack so that I can tell at a glance what you are. So basically I need to know if you're front end, back end, full stack, or something else entirely. Primarily, I just need a basic knowledge of the tech stack, but it is a bonus if I can tell what you are. The other two things is I need to know that you can work well with others, and I need to know that you take direction and criticism. So, those are the three things I'm going to be looking for, which again, if you're looking for a full-time engineering position after college, those qualifications are going to change. Also, this is Charizard, which I think is funny because Charizard in the Pokemon anime was very difficult to work with and took a while to take directions and criticism. That is showing my age and my nerdiness. So let's review Charizard's resume. Also, if you like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. It is very helpful to me because I don't understand the algorithm, and liking and comment helps. So, New Jersey, this should be one. This should be one line. If you have a high GPA, put it in. But it's, as you're a first year, I don't know if you would even have your GPA yet. Like, it's been a bit since I've been in college, so that's okay not to have it. But again, I do want this to be one line. Unless there's anything very particular that you've done, like won an award, got a scholarship, that kind of thing. Otherwise, your education for an intern should usually be one line or two if you have a master's. So, software developer. Okay, so the big thing here is, and this is the part that is a little tricky, is if you're looking for an internship, it's gonna be a little bit different. So I don't know if these are, I guess, projects you've done. I don't know if they are things you've actually worked on, but you may want to move this from instead of technical experience to projects, because that's gonna matter, because this looks like you were doing this at the same time as you were doing this at the same time that you were doing this, and that is not going to be okay for work experience, but for projects it is. So I'm gonna need you to clarify this, and in addition, stop bolding everything. So let's go to the actual bullet points. Developed a full stack. That's actually a good one. I'd like immediately say that. NFL football chat integrates with a project model using Python to with the numbers to inform fantasy decisions. Okay. Integrated OpenAI with LangChain to a machine learning model, blah, blah, blah. Designed and implemented front end using JavaScript, HTML, CSS. So these are actually okay bullet points. The order is a little off. And again, when I say basic knowledge of the tech stack, I am really looking for your primary language, maybe a library, maybe a database. You are kind of going too much. It's okay to have Panda, NumPy, and Scikit-learn. Hate that word. I will never pronounce it correctly. But you're kind of going too much into this. So what I would actually do is develop a full stack NFL Fantasy Advisor using, and then you can put like TypeScript and then JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and the Python. And then you can say here, which is using a machine learning model, using Python. So that would be solid for the tech stack. But I do want to know, and here's where I'm just scanning your resume real quick, is I don't see anything about how you worked well with others. This is, truthfully, the knowledge of the basic tech stack is in a lot of intern resumes. But I am missing how you worked well with others. This is very critical. Companies value soft skills even in jobs where there are a lot of hard skills like coding. So they really, really want to know that if they say, hey, Charizard, I gotta say, I love your gumption. Nobody says gumption anymore. I love your gumption, but your code is bad and here's why. They want to know that you will not use Fire Breath or whatever the other moves Charizard has on them and fly away. They want to know that you can say, okay, boss, understood, let me change it. They also want to know that you can work well with others. They want to make sure they're not working with a prima donna, which also nobody uses that word anymore. That this is a resume review where it shows how old I am. So yeah, that's what I'm missing, and I think actually your bullet points here are solid. You have mostly the right keywords. OpenAI is hot, so that's good. I am missing like SQL or maybe like React or API. I know that's API here, so that's fine. But mainly SQL and cloud. But otherwise, I think the actual tech stack is here. I'm just looking through this, and I don't see how you worked well with others. Nowhere here do I see that, and that's going to be critically important. So, to summarize, your formatting is a little off, you bolded too many things, and you are missing the how you worked well with others, how you took direction and criticism, and the timeline of this should probably say projects rather than technical experience. So, could I pass this? I don't know. I think, again, this is a case of where if it was in 2025 and tech was on a giant downturn, I could have probably passed this, but internships are always hard to get, and it's rough for any internship. So let's move to the next resume. This is a entry-level full-stack developer. So what we're going to be looking for a full stack is TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, SQL, React, API, REST, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, and then this is going to be a bonus section, which is any additional languages such as Python, C, Java, and then also if you know Git, and then language-specific stuff, so like Docker or other language-specific stuff. So these are bonuses, but the primary one is I'm going to need to see TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Cloud, and SQL peppered throughout your resume. So this person has a ratio of 150 to 1, which is not good. In fact, I think it might actually be more than that. They just graduated, I am assuming, and they have not gotten any interviews is what they said. So let's see if we can't solve that and help them get some interviews. Now, I will say leading up to this that the IT market is still bad. Even with a phenomenal resume, you're still looking at like maybe 1 in 50, 1 in 40, especially for entry level, because there's just that much competition. So I don't want to like overpromise. It's like with this resume you'll get a 1 to 2 ratio, because even with a phenomenal resume, it's still tough. But let's see if we can't at least get you to 1 in 50. That will be the goal, is 1 in 50. So, let's look. Dedicated full-stack web developer with expertise in modern technology. Okay, I don't care about any of this. Also, this formatting is horrible. Okay, so this does say India, and I want to know I am a US-based recruiter. I can only judge this as if this was in the United States, and you apply to that. I do not know the recruiting meta in other places. So, first off, your formatting is not good. This section can be deleted. I don't care about anything here. I don't care about a technical skills section, because let me just explain it like this, because I can already tell where the issue is with this resume is I want you to think of like a very fancy meal. And during a fancy meal, you will get appetizers, and maybe the ambiance of the meal is great. But what your bullet points are and your previous experience in projects, that is the main course. Everything else about that meal is secondary. Because if you go to a restaurant and it's clean and it's kind of boring presentation and the appetizers were meh, but the main meal was fantastic, you'd go back. And that's kind of the thing with this, is the main thing you need to focus on is work experience, and then if you do not have work experience, projects. So this profile section can be deleted. This technical skills section can be deleted. You do want to keep your education, but it should be no more than 1 line, specifically because you just graduated. And what you're going to need to do formatting-wise is below this video in the description is a link to my website. There is a link to a format. I want you to use my resume format. Boring is best with resume format. So let's actually judge the bullet points. UI UX implementation with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. This is fine, but here's the thing, and I hate saying this, UI UX does basically mean front end. There's possible the recruiter does not know that. They may think you are a UI UX designer. So what I would say is front end UI UX design implementation using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. Integrated APIs, MERN stack. Yeah, these are okay, but where's the SQL? Where's the cloud projects? Next, okay, yeah. So this is hard for me to even review because your formatting is so bad. So not only are these bullet points not great, your formatting is not good, so I can't even really tell. What I need you to do, remember, and I've said this before to a lot of people, the very first bullet point under each job or project needs to be a generalized description of your job that that a toddler can understand, right? If you had to speak in front of a class of 5-year-olds, you need to explain that job or project to them. Then everything else under that needs to be the what, which is the qualification or keywords, the how, which is how you used it, and the why, which is why you did it. And I don't see any of that here. This is basically a bunch of keywords that don't have the how or the why, and the formatting is hard. So yeah, that is why you're having an issue with this. So resubmit it once you fix those things. I don't think I could pass with this. And I guarantee you a bunch of recruiters will go all the way here. They'll read through this, and they'll get to work experience, see UI UX, and clock out, which isn't great, but unfortunately that's the market. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of another full stack developer. So they have actually had a pretty good ratio. They've sent me their resume before, and they've made some changes. And from my understanding, they now have a 1-to-50 ratio, which is really good, especially because they're applying for like interns. And they've gotten 200 applications overall, and they had 7 interviews and 2 internships offers. So they want to know what else they can improve. And honestly, that's better than 1-to-50. So probably not a ton else. That's a solid amount. So let's see if there's anything I can say to improve. But 1-to-50 for intern is solid. So if you're not an intern, it's like a C-, but like internships are rough. So I think this should be 1 line. Again, this should be 1 line. There's the bolding is incorrect, but that's minor. Develop custom shoes for NumPy APIs in Python. Good. We have APIs. We have Python. Data sets, streamlining, design and optimize data process using NumPy and Skippy. I cannot read that. For Git, that's fine. Designed and launched Docker, Ubuntu. Perform data cleansing on Python. Good. We have a lot of Python API. Docker. Python, good. This is what I like. I want the primary language to be peppered throughout, and I've seen it like 3 or 4 times already, which is good. So, project spearheaded the backend development for a full stack application using created multiple orchestrated real-time chat. Let's see, configured Maven. Again, I would just prefer. Oh, here it is. Here's why. Normally I say I need to show that you can take criticism or that kind of thing for an internship, but they have leadership, which is mentored 5 team members in developing code reviews, programming, structured feedback. This is solid. So technically I'm not necessarily looking for leadership. I'm looking for the ability to work well with a team, but this does show that you can work well with a team. So yeah, overall this is okay. I think ideally I would have a little bit more of let's see, what would I change? I think primarily formatting is an issue with this one, and maybe something about how you can take criticism, but like, let's be real, if you're getting 7 interviews and 2 internships offer from this resume, I think you're good enough, and you should just keep applying. That's solid. That's also close to like, oh my mind, I'm not good at math, like 1-to-25, 1-to-35, which is solid. So there are some minor quibbles that I would try, but it definitely passes. In addition, part of the reason you can get away with not having as much work together is you've been previously vetted as an intern. So if you've been previously vetted as an intern, they know that you can at least work well with other people, and that's the theory. So overall, yeah, I can see how this passes. This is more internship than full stack. I think, again, the only thing I say would be missing would be cloud, probably. So, and this, I'd prefer this to be in the bullet points, but again, this passes just by your ratio alone. Good job. Let's go to let's go to the next resume. The resume of, again, a full stack web dev. So, this might be an oops all full stack episode, but yeah, they just graduated from college, and they've been trying to get a job in web development. They put full stack because that's what they learned, but they can also apply to both front end or back end individually. So yeah, let's see what we have here. So there's not a lot here, which is okay. The formatting is off, I will say. Like, this is kind of a confusing formatting, and part of the reason, let me dig down into formatting, since the other couple of videos I went into more of the bullet points, but when you have a particular keyword heavy position, which IT is very keyword heavy, when you have bad formatting, it's possible they could miss the right keywords. And if it's too dense, like this over here, it's very possible that they're not going to be able to find what they're looking for. So here's what I would like you to do. Now, I can only judge resumes that were based on the United States, because again, I have not recruited outside the United States. I did like one role in Canada, but that doesn't count. So my advice to you may be different if you were applying outside the United States, because apparently, which I found out, in Turkey, it is expected that you put a picture of yourself, but in the United States, you should not put a picture of yourself on your resume. So here's what I would like this to be. You have languages right here, which is fine. You need to put that on the second line here. I want to see, basically this says English and native, like English advanced / native, because when you are searching for somebody that is bilingual, or heaven help you if you're a recruiter and you're searching for a trilingual position, it's actually really hard to find. And even if you don't meet like all the requirements, if you meet enough of them, they may move you forward based on the language that you know. So, like, I was searching for somebody that spoke French, and the manager would be like, look, if they can speak French fluently and English fluently, that'll change how much they need. So, your formatting is off because there's too much stuff bolded. I want you to use my formatting. This doesn't need to be anything longer than one line. So, also, I don't know what a systems analyst and development technologist person is. Computer support analyst, rabbit radius, optimized DNAs, diagnose network. So this is why I got confused, is this reads like, well, a support analyst position. But I don't see how you used any of the languages here. So it's also possible that you did this while you went to college and you did not have any actual experience with coding at your job. That's okay, it can happen. What I do need to know, though, is your projects and things you worked on. That will then be basically taking the place of the experience. And there is a reason that you would put your experience, even if it's not related particularly to your job when you just graduated. And the reason for that is length of experience. Companies, as a general rule across a lot of industries, want to make sure that you can stick it out. So if, say, you actually, obviously you're not here for 999 years, but if you were doing this part-time through college, this would actually be important because it shows that you could stick with a company for a while, and that's actually a green flag, even if none of these were related. But right now, my problem with this, and the reason I couldn't move forward, is you have systems and analyst and development technologist. That's not a coder, at least in the United States. I don't know the terminology outside the United States. Here, it's a computer support analyst, which would be more like help desk, which again, I don't see any of the keywords. Just having the skills doesn't count. You need to show how you use them, and I don't see that. So this is a case, maybe come on the chat, and let me see if you're actually in chat real quick. Doesn't look like it. So yeah, I cannot move forward with this resume, but again, this may be a difference in how people outside the United States recruit. So I guess comment below and maybe I could help a little bit more, or come on the channel and let me know and I could bump you up in the queue so we can actually tell you how to do this. So, but yeah, I'd be very interested to know, because nothing here works, but again, that might be a difference of where you are. So let's move to the next resume, which, is it another full stack? It may not be. It may not be. It's a software engineer. It may not actually be full stack, though. So let's see. This is a software engineer. Maybe not full stack. I don't know, but they are entry level. They started applying in September, November with about 60 plus applications, and now they're starting in January with about 30. So to let everybody know, I say the ratio is very important. The ratio doesn't count during November and December because those are very weird times in recruitment. So I don't actually know how important that is. Also, I don't know their ratio because their ratio doesn't count during that time. Also, it does look like they're just graduating. So in May 2027. So this is not, I'm assuming this is an internship. I think this is an internship. I don't actually know. They said software engineer, but it could be software engineer intern, which is going to matter because those are going to be different. So since you are expected to graduate in 2 years, I'm going to assume that you actually meant intern. So let's change up this to intern. And as an intern, as the previous ones I said, which apparently this is all intern episode almost, is I need to know a basic understanding of your tech stack, and I also need to know that you can do the work well with others and can take criticism. So your one issue you have is the formatting in this is awful. Which is not awful. That's not what I meant to say. There's a slight, just the education section is awful. That's what I meant to say. Everything else is okay. It's just the education section is awful formatting. And the reason is almost everything is indented, and that's kind of hard when this is indented, and this is indented, and this is indented. Also, you have this line under experience. You don't need that line. That also makes it harder. And the line over here. Those are minor quibbles. Let's go to the actual thing. So first off, I'm going to say what I said in the previous one here is this an internship? Because this says system administrator. I don't know if this is an internship. Is this an internship? This says DevOps contract. Is this an internship? I don't know. Because if this is an internship, it makes sense that this is between Jan and April, which is fine for an intern. It makes sense that this is between June and August. But if it's not, this looks like a job hopper, right? So you don't want more jobs than years of experience, except internships don't count against that. And I don't know if these are interns. And it may have been that because you did not state that this is an internship, that it actually kind of makes it look like you're a job hopper. So this needs to be one line, and you can delete this stuff, but this needs to be one line. You need to get rid of the line under education, the line under experience, and the line under projects. And then here, we need to know if this is actually an internship or if this is like part-time while in college. It's assumed it is, but it does matter, right? You don't want to ever rely on assumptions in your resume. So this is probably a big issue, is it kind of looks like you're a job hopper, which I doubt is the case. I bet these are internships, so let me know. Now let's go to the actual bullet points. So utilize Ensemble to Linux workstation. Okay, migrated 30 over pop blah 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 bash. So here's the problem with this. I don't see any experience that would be related to directly a software engineer. Now, obviously, if you've worked with software engineers before, or you are one, you might be yelling at me right now. You're like, Lee, headless headhunter, what the heck are you talking about? Those are direct parallels to software engineer. Well, I'm a dummy. I don't know. You cannot rely on your recruiter knowing that. I really want to see the basics, right? I want to see TypeScript. I want to see Java. I want to see Python. I want to see if it's front-end, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. So there's nothing here I can use. And I don't see anything about working well with others here. So let's go to the DevOps one. Again, I don't know if this is part-time or not. That's the big issue, is it looks like you're a job hopper, which I doubt you are. I think this is an intern, but a recruiter may not pay enough attention and they may reject you because of that. Engineer a robust cluster for heterogeneous Linux local network if you're serving HPI. Okay, so here's why I have a problem with this, is I have to go all the way here before I see a single keyword. And truthfully, Kubernetes is a little advanced for something in a intern resume. It's good that you have it, but I really want the basics. I want MySQL or SQL. I want Java. I want Python. I want JavaScript. I want TypeScript. I want the bare bones basics. And you have AWS, which is fine, which is cloud. But yeah, designed a Docker with WordPress, SQL. This arguably I think is your best sentence that I can find because it has the most. I really want to know the basics. Here, cooperated with a team of 3. This is fine. I like this because it shows the cooperation. Python, great. SciPy, okay. Matrix, that's fine. Yeah, this is fine. But like, look, A recruiter is not going to scroll all the way down here. They're going to go to here, see they have nothing for software engineer, and reject you. Maybe they'll look here, then they're going to reject you. Then they're going to look at here, and then they're going to reject you. And I'm not trying to be cruel. I just want this to be the harshest review you have ever seen in your life so that you actually get the job. And that is the problem with this, is I don't see the basics that I need here at all. And even if I go here, this is it. I finally found this, is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This stuff should be up here. So it doesn't, to summarize, it doesn't read like a software engineer until you get to maybe here. It doesn't say you're a software engineer. The formatting is not almost right. There is a reason in my formatting it looks like this, but there is no line under it. Is the line actually hurts your chances, and the education is not formatted correctly. It's close though, and I know you used my format. It's very close, but it's not there yet, and there's a reason I have it in a particular way. So the formatting is almost good, and it looks like a job hopper, and that's going to hurt your chances. So redo a lot of this, the bullet points, and I need to know a little bit more, and then I think you're going to get some stuff. Because like this right here, this needs to be in your bullet points a lot. In fact, right here, this needs to be everywhere in your bullet points. These are the most important things in your resume, and I have to go all the way down here for it. So could this pass? Probably not. Unless this is more like, I guess, I'm trying to think of a way this would pass and I can't see it. So yeah, this is what you need. And that's the end of this video, not the stream. If you're still on the stream, stay with me, and I will see you all on the next video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out.